Hello guys, my name is Mutale James Kangwa and I am financial market analyst for Z4X Consortium. Welcome to this week's market review, this week's market forecast, and that is a technical analysis part. So technically we are looking at the pound. The pound showed us some interesting concepts from last week and pointing towards a potential breakdown, a potential bearish breakdown. So this week we still expect more selling pressure to build up in the pound, and what we are looking at is gbpusd being the first one that I'm going to discuss, and also gbpjpy. Okay, that's the British pound against United States dollar, and also the British pound against Japanese yen. Okay, before I go any further, I would like to give you a disclaimer that forex is risky, and so you approach it with the right knowledge, understanding of course that there are risks that are attached to the business, and so our video is our insight and technically what we expect. Okay, and by no means is this direct investment advice, but just for educational purposes. So this week we have British pound USD and also the British pound against Japanese yen. So as you can see on my chart, we had a sell off after an interesting structure up there. Okay, and then if you look at this thing from history, the levels that we are looking at are quite solid. Currently we have what looks like a head and shoulder pattern in the H4 time frame on GBP USD. That has got this trend line support. Okay, as you can see, just after price pushed from this level, pushed up, this was an uptrend for some time, and then up here we see what looks like a head and shoulder pattern. So we had the first the left shoulder forming here to touch the very trend line support, then bars pushed the market back up again to form the head and coming back to the support on the trend line, and then we had bars pushing this thing back up to form the right shoulder, and then just after a break below the right shoulder, we had this massive sell off. Now what is interesting, what has really caught my attention on this pair this week is the price action level at 1.22966, and as you can see, the level from history is quite an important level. Right here the level played as a major resistance level in the H4 time frame for this major sell off to that lower target. And as you can see right now, this is our 23-hour candlestick, and it closed right below, it formed right below our level. So we are expecting a sell off from that level. Okay, and then the levels we're looking at, 1.22133, which is this level right here. It was one support at that point, that was in July. And then if we get a close below that level, that target, a close below this level after the sell off that we expect, will expose this lower region. Now I would like to note that we have a number of fundamental events that are lined up for the pound this week, coming from both geopolitical events and also the GDP that we have coming this week. So we have to be very cautious. We need to be cautious of that, and so we expect massive sell off this week on the pound. And then the only hazards that we need to look out for are those possible fundamental events. The ones that are very little are those that we actually don't plan for. For example, the ongoing Brexit developments. So we need to be up to date with the news. But technically, what we see here is a potential sell off, potential major sell off this week. So that's GBP/USD. We look out for selling opportunities this week below those price action levels. Okay, and then next, the other pair that we are looking at this week is gbpjpy. Okay, and then interestingly we have what we have on gbpjpy is a similar market structure. Okay, a similar price action structure, as you can see. This one was more appealing to me. This one actually caught more of my attention because when you see this pattern, if the trend line is slanting downwards, it just shows us how powerful the sell off will be. So if you look at gbpjpy and gbpusd, they all have a similar price action pattern that is playing out. As you can see, this here we had the lower trend line support, which is the neckline, and then we had the left shoulder forming to touch the neckline support, and then forming the head back to the support, then formed the right shoulder. Then after a close below our trend line support, we had that retest to the trend line resistance, and then that massive sell off. This was very profitable last week. We made quite a number of we made some bucks from this one last week, but we are expecting major sell offs this week as well. So the buyers tried to push the market back up. I mean, found the very trend line, failed to clear it, and then there was another massive sell off before market closure. And now this is where we are. Now, what's important to note right now is the level currently. This level here, 132.620, which was once which is a major level right here in August. It was major resistance for this entire sell off right here, 9 August. So you can see that this is a very significant level on gbpjpy. So if we get price closing below 132.620 in the H4 closing basis, we expect the lower targets like 131.898 to be exposed, and then a close below that level should expose 130.483, and then after price closing below that level, we should get a wholesale off to that lower region. Okay, so what we are looking out for this week on the pound Japanese yen are selling opportunities. So it's more favorable to be a seller in this market than a buyer. And again, the only thing that could ruin our idea is a fundamental development, or which could actually maybe resulting in the opposite, or pushing this pair right back above this trend line resistance, and then a close above a level that's right above the trend line resistance. We could get buyers coming back into the market and then pushing price further up. But should sellers keep going with the pressure, and then we get a close below this major level, which is very important, this major support level currently, we get a close below this level, or any candlestick confirmation pattern just within this region, we expect a continuation in the sell off. Okay, so technically gbpjpy and gbpusd are what we are focusing on this week. Should anything come up along the week, we'll be able to update you guys. Okay, so after watching this video, don't forget to click the like button and then subscribe to the channel so that you don't get to miss out on any setup that we share. And yeah, so have an awesome week, and see you in the next video.